All right, let's take a look at the second part of section 4.1. We're going to call this 4.1b, writing the equation of a line, because you are going to be presented with a little bit of a different situation when you go to write your equation of a line. So I would like everybody to look at this picture and understand that we want to eventually get our line written in the equation y equals mx plus b. But to get there, we will implement a new formula. And you can see it's highlighted here. It's called the point slope form. Now, you may ask yourself, well, how do I know that I need to use this formula? When will I know this? Well, it's very simple. If you are provided with a point that you know is on the line and the slope of a line, whether it's given to you in written form or on a graph, you're going to use this formula. And I'm going to highlight it for you. This is what we're talking about right here. This is the point slope formula. To use this properly, what you're going to do is understand that this y right there and this x right there need to remain as variables because they will represent every point that exists on the line. So they have to stay as variables because there's millions and millions of points. And then you can see what's highlighted here. See the slope? You're going to put your slope that you're given right there. And then you will also be given a point that exists on the line. So the x value of that point will go there and the y value will go there. See these little subscripts, these little ones, that denotes that you have a point that goes in there, an ordered pair. So let's try one of these. I'll show you how this works. This says write the equation of a line that passes through the point -8, 3. So right away, what I want you to do is label that that's x1 and y1 and the slope of 1/4. So that's m. So you have a slope and a point. That's why you know you will use the point slope formula. So what I suggest you do next, I want everybody to write down the point slope formula. Always start with that. And then the next thing you do is you substitute the information where it belongs. Let's go ahead and do that. Now, let's see if you remember from what I was talking about earlier. So this y stays as the variable y. The other y over here comes from your point. Let's keep going. What about m? All right, well, m was given to us, so it goes right there. So it would be 1/4. And then notice you have parentheses. X stays as x, but x1 will go in here next. And x1, look at this. It's a -8. I'll swing this over here. It's going to go right there. Now hold on for a second. Let's think about this. You see how I have two negatives? It's because I put a negative number in there. What do two negatives make? They make a positive, don't they? So I guess I could just turn that into a positive. Be a good idea. So there is that next step. Now finally, we want to simplify this equation, and you'll see before long we'll have the equation in y equals mx plus b form, which we recognize as the equation of a line. So what do you think would be next? Well, on the left-hand side, there's nothing you can do, but on the right-hand side, it looks like we can do a distributive property. 1/4 times x is simply 1/4 x. 1/4 times 8 is like taking 1/4 of 8, or 8 divided by 4. Go ahead and calculate that, but it's a 2. Let's think now. Finally, what do you think we need to do to get the y all by itself? So this is in y equals mx plus b form. That's right. We need to get this over there. We need to add 3. Where do you think I'll put it over on the other side? That's right. Let's line it up over there. Okay, here it comes. Here's our final equation. I see my y's left over. So I got y equals, this drops down, mx, and then combine those together, plus b. There you go. So that's how we write the equation of a line if we're given a point and a slope. There's a couple variations on this, but that's basically what you do. Let's try some more. All right, I'd like everybody to try number 1, and then we'll go to number 2. So here's what we should have done first. We should say that's x1 and y1, and I can see over there I've got my slope. Everybody should rewrite the point slope formula very carefully, and now substitute your values where they should go. All right, let's get started. So remember now, that y right there is just going to be y. It's going to be minus, what's y1? There it is. It's a -1. You know what we got to do there, right? There's 2 negatives, so that makes a positive. Equals, all right, what's my slope? There it is. That goes in place of m. Keep that x there. Minus, okay, what's x1? It's a 3. Let's put a 3 right here. Now simplify this expression. So this will be a y plus 1 on the left-hand side. Do a distributive property over here. Plus 6. Finally, solve the equation. Get rid of that 1. Do the same thing on the other side. Put it together with the regular number. Okay, here we go. Here's our final answer. Y equals...
Sydney, hey you, if you are in the building, your father is waiting in the senior lobby. Again, Sydney, hey you,
-2x plus
your
5.
father is waiting for you in the senior lobby. Thank you.
All right, so we've been interrupted by the PA. That's the way it goes when you're making these videos. All right, number 2. So this is a negative right here, just so everybody can see that. Let's go ahead and everybody try number 2. So in this one, here's x1, y1, your slope. All right, let's get right into it. Let's rewrite our point slope formula. Let's substitute our values where they belong. So y minus y1. You see it's a 0? Interesting. Equals, okay, what's m? -2/3 goes here. X minus, all right, now I need to find x1. Here it is, it's this 4. Let's simplify this. Well, look at the left-hand side. Y minus 0 is just y. We're going to be done here shortly. Distribute. That'll be just -2/3 x. Distribute over here. A negative times a negative is a positive. I don't know. You got to get your calculator out. Whatever you got to do. I'm just going to multiply 4 times 2 is 8 over 3. You could write the decimal version of that, but that's fine. 8/3 is okay. So let's look at a different type of a situation. What if you're given a picture of a graph? Can we still do this? I think we can. I think we can. So we need a point. Do you see that we have 2 points? Yeah, we do. I'm going to let you in on a secret. It won't matter which point you use, believe it or not, because since both points are on a line, either one will work. So heck, I don't know. How about we use this one up here and I call that x1 and y1. Let's just use that. but I do need my slope. So I'm going to transfer that over here. 1, 2, that's x1, y1. And let me erase that so we don't get confused. Can we calculate the slope of this line? I think we can. Let me get that cursor out of the way. Right where I need to write. Let's get the slope of this line. So you know what I always like to do, start over here and move to this point. So I need to move down 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 2 to the right. So that means my slope is down 4 over 2, and that can be reduced. -2 is the slope. Hey, we've got everything we need. Let's go ahead and write the equation. Let's use our point slope formula. Get the job done. See if you're getting used to things. Y minus y1, there it is, equals m times x minus x1, which is 1. Keep the left-hand side as it is for a moment. Distribute. Multiply here. Get rid of that 2 by adding it to both sides. Cancels here. Here we go. Y equals, drop down this. There's mx. Add those together, plus b. All done. So we could even figure it out from a picture. Well, let's see here. I think we've got one more thing we might want to try. Look at both those questions. They're the same questions that we just did, but without a picture. So how the heck are we supposed to get a slope? Well, we're going to introduce something new here. And what we need to do is calculate slope. So I want everybody to write this down in their notes. We have a formula to calculate slope, and I bet you've seen this before. I know you've used this before. So in both of these problems, you have to calculate your slope first, and then you can write the equation like we've been doing. So that is a little new piece of information. It's probably not new to you. I bet you've seen that before. All right, step 1, here's what I would do. I'd label these, okay? See what I'm doing? Basically what I'm doing is I'm saying, hey, one of the points I'm going to call it point 1 or x1 and y1. Another point I'm going to call it point 2, x2 and y2. I'm going to use that formula to calculate slope. Let's try it. So slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That makes sense to me. That's rise over run, everybody. The y coordinates are rising, the x coordinates run. Then what I do is I set up a little template like that, and I start putting information in here. So I need y2, here it is, minus y1, there it is. Now I need x2 and x1. Now, just need to figure this out. 10 minus 4 is 6, 3 minus 1 is 2, 6 divided by 2 is 3. I've got my slope. Now I can write my equation of my line. Let's use the point slope formula. Let's put all of our information in here. Now what I want you to do is look up top. I'm gonna circle this for you. See this? We have x1 and y1. We have slope. We have everything we need. Let's put it into the formula. Y minus, okay, what's y1? I see it up there. It's 4. Equals, what's the slope? I see it right here. We calculated that. Okay, what's x1? I see it up there. It's 1. Same stuff now, right? You just got to learn the procedure. Do a distributive property. Move this 4 over. We're going to have our answer. Y equals 3x plus 1. And that's how you do this. Okay? Now with our time remaining, I'd like everybody to try number 4. And I'm going to try to shrink everything down so I have space, or I'll just squeeze everything over there. Let's see if I can do that. Kind of move that off to the side. Okay. Make a little division here. Okay, here we go. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. First thing I want to do is calculate the slope. Write my formula, reminding myself what goes where. Maybe make a little template like this. All right, let's go to it. Y2 minus Y1. Now look at that. See, I'm going to put a negative number in here. What happens? That's right. It turns to a plus, doesn't it? X2 minus X1. That's going to happen again. So I'm going to put a negative 4 in there. Makes a plus. Negative 4 plus 1. 8 plus 4. Reduce your fraction. Negative 1/4 is the slope. There's my point, and I've got a slope. Point slope formula. Okay, here we go. Y minus, what's Y1? I see it up top. It's negative 1. You know what's going to happen. 2 negatives? That's right, and make a positive. Equals M, negative 1/4, right? X minus, what's X1? See it up there? It's negative 4. What happens there? It's a plus. Next step, keep the left-hand side as it is. Let's do a distributive property. It's negative 1/4 X. Multiply these. First of all, negative times a positive is a negative. 1/4 of 4. It's 1. Check it out on your calculator if you don't believe me. Subtract 1 to solve this equation. All right, let's see what we get now. Y equals negative 1/4 X minus 2. And we are all finished.